You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win every way. You showed me how to spread my wings.
Good morning. Welcome to Brewtiful morning again in Sullivan. You are lovely, probably, but we are not. Doug told me we was going on a road trip, and I did not imagine this long of a okay for the world. Thank you for joining us again today. Got some great guests that's going to carry on the program shortly, but I'm going to let Doug tell you exactly where we are right now.
We are in Reagan Airport, I see Reagan at Blue Ridge Hope, but we are in Reagan Airport in beautiful Washington, D.C. The mayor and I have been up here. We came in Wednesday afternoon. We spent the good day yesterday on the Capitol Hill meeting with our legislators about issues that pertain to Rutherfordton, and had a really productive day yesterday.
I think so. We got to meet some great people.
We're having a hard time hearing the mayor, just letting you know.
Okay.
We visited a lot of great people yesterday and had a great conversation. They took a lot of time to speak with us. We were not rushed, so it has been a productive meeting, and we'll be able to talk about it a little bit more as we go down the road. But, great opportunity for us to be here.
Yeah, I agree, Mayor. We got to meet with Congresswoman Virginia Foxx yesterday, got to meet with Senator Tom Tillis and Senator Richard Burr, and had really productive conversations around issues that we're facing in North Carolina, from mental health to housing to transportation to economy, jobs, and really had, I feel like, really productive meetings. I feel like we're able to get some of the issues specifically to Rutherfordton across, and hopefully those will be fruitful for us in the future. It's all about building partnerships, and sometimes those partnerships mean coming up to Capitol Hill to get our issues across. So real productive trip. We're here at the airport getting ready to board our flight, but we wanted to come on and just say thank you to everybody. I know Magnolia and the team she's got there with Reagan and Allison are going to have a great, and don't forget Addie too. The small screen here, we're on a cell phone. So I know you guys have got a lot to talk about too, but I just wanted to kind of report that we've had a great trip here in DC. Again, very productive. To continue to build partnerships and expand upon issues that we're facing back home, and trying to get some help from the federal government as well.
And we thank the hometown people wanting to share this morning with everybody else. Thank you for interrupting your day. But it's been a great trip. We're all anxious to get home. But, thank you again for joining us. Beautiful morning. Be sure to join us every Friday morning at 8:30. We're trying to get some interesting things coming to you. Just want to be sure and mention, obviously this is a very Memorial Day weekend. Want to honor all those people that sacrifice so much, to include their families who continue to sacrifice. Being a veteran myself, it has a special time for me, and I thank everyone for be sure to remember what we're honoring who we're honoring this weekend. And have a program is going on in Forest City at 11 o'clock on Monday. If you're able to come down and join us, appreciate you coming and being a part of that Memorial Day program. Thanks again for letting us. Thank you, Doug, for setting up all this for us to see. It's been a great day.
Yeah, and I'm ready to get home to my small town coffee roasters. I know you guys are at the Hope House, and you got all kinds of great coffee there with Blue Ridge Hope, or Blue Ridge. But we were able to find some Chick-fil-A here in the airport, so it'll do in a pinch. It's not small town coffee roasters, and it's not Hope Works, but what is the actual name of the coffee shop there? I know I'm butchering it, Allison.
It's the Blue Ridge Hope Village.
The Village. HopeWorks is the after school program, and I see Hope behind you. So I mean, just had to have a little hope that I was going down the right path. But Hey, look, I don't know if you can read it there. Either way, it's freshly brewed. Hope everybody's having a good morning. We're going to turn it over to y'all. Like the mayor said, Memorial Day weekend coming up. Honor those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. We'll have flags available in the city cemetery for those families coming to meet their loved ones. And then if not, definitely be joining the town of Forest City for their Memorial Day event on Monday. And the mayor's going to be the guest speaker. And Mayor, thank you for your service. I know it's Memorial Day, not Veterans Day, but thank you for your service.
Well, good
Turn it
morning.
over to you guys.
Awesome. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank y'all for joining us for Brewtiful Mornings. I know that the mayor was a little iffy to hear, but we're really thankful that you're still here and watching. But yeah, just as Doug said, that we are at the Blue Ridge Hope Village. So they've recently opened up not too long ago. I don't know. 4 weeks ago. Yeah. So, bye. So they opened 3 or 4 weeks ago, and honestly, like, it is some dang good coffee, and they're not putting any kind of competition up for small town coffee roasters because they actually use their coffee. But y'all, like, this is the Big Spicy Hug, and it is magical. What are you drinking right
I'm
now?
drinking their special for the week, which I hope becomes permanent. It's the lavender honey, right? It is phenomenal, but
I should have looked at the menu.
I know. See, I kind of want to swap with you because the Big Spicy Hug is so good. And what I really love about their coffee, please correct me if I'm wrong, but when you buy a cup, all of the proceeds are going back into, I'm going to butcher it, Blue Ridge Hope. See, I'm going to get it. See, Doug's not the only one that messes it up.
We got it
Blue
ready
Ridge
to go.
Hope. All of the proceeds go back into that, into working on mental health resources for people in Rutherford County. So it tastes good. What does it say? Tastes good and does good. I'm being cheeky.
And I have the Blue Ridge Mood Booster.
What is in that?
What's in that, Addie?
The Blue Ridge Mood Booster is 3 shots of espresso. That's the booster part. Oh, and then hazelnut, vanilla, and cinnamon.
It's so good. Hot or cold. Good hot or cold.
Something for everybody, for sure.
I'm gonna have to expand from my normal
Yeah.
coffee. Good Lord. Hello, good morning. Of course, like, we are literally set up in the coffee shop right now, so people are gonna be coming in and out, but definitely stop by because it is amazing. But yeah, I'm watching the comments on my phone, and yes, reaching Roco,
3 shots.
3 shots.
We should tell them where we are.
Oh yes, where are we?
So we are at 5:30. No.
We're at
654.
654 West Main Street, Forest City. So we're right next to Davis Donuts. We share the same building.
If you remember How Coffee from a couple years ago, it's the same building, very similar vibe. I used to work at How, so it's nice to come back. I feel like we've come.
You
Yeah.
used to work there?
Yeah, and like Abby would come in as a
Circle.
customer, so it feels very like
I
full
love
circle.
coffee.
It was so it's funny to see how things change and like still making connections through an older job that I did that I loved, and now someone new is here, and it's continuing the like tradition. It's fun.
So what all do you want to share about the village and the operation and like Blue Ridge Hope in general?
Yeah, so we originally started having the Hope Works program here in the afternoons, and we had all the equipment to be able to basically do like a study hall with high schoolers in the afternoons. And we just kind of got to thinking it's all just sitting here during the day, and it could be a funding source for Blue Ridge Hope as we are a nonprofit. So we decided to open up Monday through Friday from 7 to noon, and place just for meetings to gather community, help build community. And then all the proceeds go back into the business of Blue Ridge Hope to provide mental health services for people, whether they can afford it or not.
Well, really the nonprofit of Blue Ridge Hope, really.
Yeah, the nonprofit of Blue Ridge Hope.
But I know that it may be hard to tell online, but normally the overhead lights are not on, so it is definitely like a vibe in here. Like, it is so relaxing, and there's just like a really good energy to this space. So it's perfect if you have a meeting that you want to hop on, or if you have class or study hall or something. It's just, the atmosphere is so relaxing and so supportive. So definitely come by and check it out.
So someone seems rather attached to that particular building.
Is anybody not attached to this building?
It's a good building. I'm so glad that it is still being used and loved, and it makes me happy to see.
Yes, Doug, the fundraiser is with us today. He is kind of popping in and out.
He's given us our lines.
Yeah, I think he's on his third cup of coffee right now this morning. He's really just going down with it, but I'm sure that the fundraiser may pop in in a minute.
Is that his other name?
Yes.
I was unaware.
Oh, gosh.
Fundraiser with a Z.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess you weren't here whenever we had our Roots of Hope event, but Ruffton Roots and Blue Ridge Hope partnered and did a really big fundraising event called Roots of Hope.
That's beautiful.
So we did a whole fundraising campaign. We had kind of like a farm to table dinner that we prepared and had like a whole like online.
It was a live event.
Yeah.
And Doug and Travis were our hosts and MCs. And we're going to do it again this fall.
Oh,
Yes.
I will be there 100%. I've just recently started volunteering with Ruffton Roots. We have so many names for all these different organizations. I'm going to mess them up, but Ruffton Roots is incredible. I've been really thankful and so impressed by the work that you and Lindy and all of the other volunteers do. I got to take home some strawberries last week, and they were phenomenal.
They're
So
okay.
good.
Honestly, though, like I was not expecting Ruffton Roots strawberries to be as good as
They're
they
so
are.
good, and I hate
a
to
little
sound
jealous.
cheesy. I'll bring you some. If you volunteer, they give you stuff.
Yeah. So, and also, I would just like to mention that we're not just giving away our produce to the people
No,
who volunteer.
no.
It's literally like the produce that we can't
Yeah.
sell. So, like, we'll have to cut like bad pieces off the strawberries, and we don't want to send those to people in need. So we'll just give them to the volunteers to eat because they're less picky. But
And leftovers, I'm fine with.
yes,
Really
absolutely the leftovers. But yeah, we had like a big competition to see who could sell more meal tickets, and that's how Travis deemed the nickname.
Fundraisers in the house.
Yeah. Oh, the fundraiser is
Oh, wow.
in the house.
He's got
This
his
is going to be
sunglasses.
quite the experience for y'all watching
Oh,
live.
no way. He's getting the whole ensemble. Are you going to show the people? You got to give the people what they want. Oh, it's backwards. I think, guys, wow, he's coming.
He's in the house.
What's going on? How's it going?
Good
The
morning.
fundraiser is in the house.
The
You see this
fundraiser
mug
is
right
fun.
here? You know why it says TCB? Because I take care of business with a flash. That's what I do. Someone told me that this was a struggling program today, so they needed me to come on, and I was like, that's what I do best. I show up and I take control and I take care of business and I make something fun that was lame. So that's what I'm here to do, just to let you know.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the
Brewtiful
fundraiser,
Minds,
see, that's the
please.
thing. The fundraiser, most people think the fundraiser is going to be like this really happy-go-lucky guy. He's not.
Does
The fundraiser takes care of things and he gets things done and he doesn't care who he hurts in the process.
And he talks about himself in third person.
Yes, absolutely he does. You know why? Because he has some issues.
Well,
That's
it's
why
a
the
good thing
fundraiser-
that it is Mental Health Awareness Month, so we could segue into all of that. You're in a good place.
Absolutely. The fundraiser is at a good place. And he's actually a little nicer now than he was 6 months ago.
He's been getting some help.
He's dealing with his anger management, those type things. He definitely is. But where's I don't know, where's Dougie Smalls? Where's Doug?
He had to get off, so they are still in the airport, and
Oh.
they're
But
yeah.
he's leaving us comments.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is. He is
yeah.
watching it this morning, and he did say good morning, Travis, but I don't know where Travis is.
Travis left.
Yep.
Travis couldn't handle what's going on this morning, so that's the reason the fundraiser had to show up. And really, the thing is, fundraising with a Z is about raising money to make sure that we can do what we do. And Blue Ridge Hope is a nonprofit, and I don't know if anybody's mentioned this or not, probably not because I wasn't here. Blue Ridge Hope sees individuals regardless of their ability to pay. So one of the wonderful things about what we're able to do at Blue Ridge Hope is we're able to help individuals who come onto the scene and maybe they don't have funding. Because one of the surprising things is, maybe for you or maybe not, depending on the work you're in, the number of underinsured Americans or non-insured Americans is rather astounding. So when you come into work like this, many times people will have a benefit and it may say a copay of $35, let's say for a doctor or a specialist. But what they may not realize is they don't have any mental health coverage in their insurance. So when they show up, sometimes they think they may actually even have insurance, and the reality is they may end up being a $5,000 deductible for mental health or a $2,500 deductible for mental health. So I don't know about you, but for most of us who aren't the fundraiser, we just can't come up with that kind of cash. And it's a barrier. So one thing Blue Ridge Hope does is that I love is that they can see people regardless of their ability or their situation. Sometimes there might be a waiting list, as you can imagine, there's quite a need, but we can usually get folks in for that care on a sliding scale. And sometimes that sliding scale may have folks as low as $5 or $10 or even less. But the beautiful thing about that is we don't even make that a barrier. We say, okay, this is a starting point, but if this is not possible, we move down. And the reason we can do this is because we have great people in the community like you who come back into the picture and say, hey, we want to donate to nonprofit organizations who are doing this kind of work. We also are so fortunate to be able to partner with wonderful agencies in our area, such as RHI, Legacy, who helps us, and they provide money as well so that we can make sure these individuals who are not insured or underinsured are getting the mental health care they deserve. And we could not do what we do if it wasn't for the partners like RHI Legacy. We couldn't do what we do if it wasn't for individual donors like you who supported us, who come to the Roots of Hope dinner. And most importantly, we couldn't do what we do without the fundraiser, who just continues to, I mean, I know I'm talking to myself here, but he is me. He can just tear this thing apart. But in all joking aside, obviously we're thankful for everything you guys do to help us.
Travis, I'm sorry, the fundraiser, you knew a lot about mental health and Blue Ridge Hope. Like, I'm really impressed about how much you've grown in the last 6 months.
Well, you have to understand, the fundraiser does everything well.
Right.
So if the fundraiser is going to come and take care of business with a flash, by the way, this is Elvis Presley's logo. And the fundraiser considers himself pretty much the new Elvis.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Yeah, he's the Elvis Presley of fundraising.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Addie's back, and I'm sure you guys would probably rather look at me the rest of the time, but I'm going to let Addie come back because
That's
you know
really
what?
kind of
I have things to do. Yeah, I have things
Fundraiser's
to
a busy
do.
man.
Yeah, a busy person.
Yeah.
So just remember, friends, take care of business with a flash. Fundraiser. Till next time.
I want that on a t-shirt. Like quotes, taking care.
Oh, new Blue Ridge Hope t-shirt.
I would
Yes.
absolutely buy a fundraiser with a Z t-shirt, and I think it should have the fundraiser's face as like a
Oh,
logo.
Actually, there's a pretty intense drawing of the fundraiser that would
have that.
Can it be on a
oh,
t-shirt?
yeah. We
It
could
can.
probably make that happen.
I love that.
I'll be the first one to purchase one.
Well, yes. So as the fundraiser said, like Blue Ridge Hope's like overall mission is absolutely supported by people in the community that are also invested in their services and everything. And what better way to support them than to get a amazing cup of coffee or espresso made by the one and only Addie. So definitely stop by and get some coffee because y'all, it's so good. I'll let y'all talk so I can go over comments and make sure we're not missing any questions. But as always, if you have questions, drop in the comments.
I can go over some specifics about the coffee shop. So we set our address 654 West Main Street in Forest City. We're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. And you can just drop by anytime. We have a full menu. It's posted on our Facebook page. And that is the Blue Ridge Hope Village Coffee Shop if you're looking for it. And I think that's about it.
Yeah, and on Instagram.
On Instagram, we're also BRH Village.
BRH Village.
Uh-huh.
So with it being Mental Health Month, I think we should share some of the statistics that we've done a lot of research that there's nearly a quarter who are not able of people, population that are not able to receive mental health services. And whether that be because of access, whether that be financial situations, we want to remove all barriers for people who need mental health support, whatever that may be. And that's why we exist.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that mental health and mental illness is not uncommon. About 1 in 5 individuals, or 50 million Americans who are adults, suffer from a mental illness, and about, I think, 4.3 of that number suffer from a severe mental illness. So out of that, a quarter of those people can't afford or don't have access to services, which is an astronomical number of people.
Yes. And we're seeing it more and more with our children as well, particularly after the past year. We've actually seen an increase in suicide in females, where it's historically been males, adolescents that have had the higher number, and that's shifted a little bit. So it's just really reaching out to our youth, which is part of our mission with Hope Works.
Yeah. So during the school semesters, we do host the Hope Works study hall. I'm not sure if Allison already mentioned that here. So hopefully next fall semester, we'll also do the same thing. And what we did last spring, or just a few weeks ago, any high school student in Rutherford County, didn't matter if you were homeschooled, didn't matter if, you went to TJ or the county schools, you could drop in from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Thursdays and just work, hang out. We had a tutor here if they had any questions about homework. You can work one-on-one with them. And we also offered free coffee during that time. So that was a little bit of an incentive to come.
Hard to pass up. So was it like afternoon coffee?
Yeah, kids, no joke, one student literally would drink like 3 coffees at like 4 p.m. And I was like, can I like legally give this to you? Because you're not going to sleep tonight. One kid liked at least 2 mood boosters.
That is
and I was
impressive,
like,
and
secretly put only like 1 shot in this so that you just go to sleep.
That's fun. That's okay. I think it's great that you guys offer stuff to young people too, because we talk about mental health so much for adults that can't get it and adults that are uninsured, but I feel like it's a whole different beast when it comes to young adults and teenagers. So I think it's really great that you're including them in the conversation, because I feel like from the recent event night that we did, that I hope I'm not misspeaking or misrepresenting, but they don't feel included in the conversation a lot of times when it comes to mental health, or they don't feel as if adults take their problems and their mental health issues as seriously as they should. So I think it's really great. I'm impressed.
If I can jump
Travis,
in
it's
on
nice
that.
to see you this morning.
Thank you. I heard, actually, I was driving and I saw that the fundraiser showed up. So I had to get here to get him off the camera before he does any damage.
Right.
Because, I mean, as good as he is, there's some liabilities with the fundraiser. So I had to show up to kind of make sure this thing got back in order with the fundraiser, kick him out. But I kind of talk about what you're saying, and Allison alluded to this just a few moments ago. The latest research shows that suicide attempts in young females, adolescents between 12 and 17 years old, after COVID went up almost 51%. It was like 50.6%. So to think about that just for a moment, think about just that fact for a moment. And since 2019 to now, suicide attempts in adolescent girls have went up 50%. Now that statistic alone should paralyze us for a moment in time and just say, what is going on? And if that isn't enough to kind of jar you, think about this. Think about prior to COVID in 2019, there were about 11% of the United States population who identified with having either anxiety or depression. After COVID, we're looking at 41%. 41% of the United States population after COVID, these statistics coming in late 2021, has said that they now identify with feeling or experiencing depression or anxiety. 11%, 41%. So if we think about those statistics for a moment, I believe we can begin to understand that as hard as COVID was and as serious as the pandemic was, we have another pandemic in mental health. And that number continues to rise and rise and rise at alarming rates. And obviously we see terrible things that sometimes happen in our world that can be connected to mental health. But I do want to stop there for a moment and acknowledge, just because somebody has a diagnosable mental health illness, it doesn't mean that they're going to go and do terrible things like we saw this week in Texas. Because I also believe, as important as it is to have discussions around how mental health affects tragedies and can play a part in tragedies, it's also important to realize just because someone has a mental health illness does not mean that they're going to commit atrocities. Because I think what happens, and I heard that this week, is even individuals who said, I'm bipolar, but they felt shamed with their diagnosis because of what happened. I want to be really clear. If you have a mental health diagnosis, that is not an indicator that you're part of these situations that are causing tragedies. I want to be really clear about that, because we don't need to stigmatize people anymore who are already suffering with diagnoses and situations in their life. And a mental health diagnosis is just a diagnosis. It doesn't define you. It doesn't label you to the point that you are defined by that as a person. And it is just a diagnosis, just like if you had asthma or you had something else. I'm not trying to minimize or compare. All I'm saying is it's a medical diagnosis, and we want to treat that just like we would anything else. So again, think about that for a moment. We're going from 11% who identify with depression and anxiety in our country to 41%. So we should be alarmed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't mean to bring the conversation down, but at the same time, I think we need to be aware, because as the great Maya Angelou says, when we know better, we do better. And I think we have a lot of doing that we need to do. So thank you for letting me throw those statistics in and just have a conversation for a moment.
Of course. And thank y'all so much for the work that you're doing in our community. Like, just working for the town, like, I'm really passionate about like the growth and the betterment of the community, and y'all are out there like doing the actual work. So I'm really thankful for y'all. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to make sure the fundraiser's not in the parking lot.
Okay, yes.
And I just have a feeling that most people want to see Allison. So she's really the one.
Yes, and I'm seeing all of the comments come in, and like absolutely Travis hit it spot on. Yeah, exceptional discussion. So thank y'all so much for joining and watching. Definitely drop all your comments and questions in the comments. Wow, I said comments 2 times in a sentence, but that's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, so how do people reach out for services at Blue Ridge Hope?
So you can go directly to our website, which is blueridgehope.org. The top right-hand corner, there's a link to you can actually fill out an online request for an appointment, or you can call our office, 828-202-3075, and we'll be there to take care of you. Online or through the telephone.
Awesome. And then obviously this is not the main office.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, so our main office is in Rutherfordton. We're on 2nd Street at 131 West 2nd Street, just before you get to Rutherford High. And that's where the counseling takes place. It doesn't happen here.
I think that sounds like a pretty good day though. Like in the morning, You stop here, you get a coffee, then you go to your appointment, and then you just pick up Rutherford Time. Like what?
That's the epitome of a self-care day.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely a good self-care day.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually having Rutherford Time for lunch.
I was thinking about it. Yeah.
Are you going in, or are you calling it to go?
I want to say what time is lunch?
I just invited myself in there. Sorry.
I think we just invited everybody.
We may have
the thing. You come see us.
All right, Rutherford Time for lunch today. See you there.
We should apologize to Rutherford Time in advance for the crowd that we're about to bring.
I hope a crowd goes, and I hope a crowd comes here. More importantly,
Yeah.
So we have had a couple of questions. One from RJ. This was a while ago, so RJ, I'm sorry, we're just not getting to your question. But what is your favorite drink here?
Mine?
Yes.
I'm a big fan of the Big Spicy Hug because I really like chai flavor. So the Big Spicy Hug is homemade chai syrup, spiced vanilla, cinnamon, and then whatever milk you prefer with 2 shots of espresso. And it's really, really good, either hot or iced. It is like a big spicy hug.
It truly is. Yeah.
So good.
Can you divulge the information about what's in the homemade
It's a secret.
syrup?
Chai
syrup.
Chai is in it.
Oh, chai.
That makes sense.
I'll be right back.
She's a working girl.
Let's see. And then Jane Columbus at First Staffing said that she would be happy to get the word out if you want to drop some literature by their offices in Forest City and Columbus. So thank you so much, Jade, for that offer. And it truly takes a community to kind of like accomplish the missions that we've all set out to do.
That's why we're the village.
The village.
Look at that. Wow.
Oh my
It
God.
takes a village.
It does. It's amazing.
And then, of course, 100% of the proceeds from here go back to Blue Ridge Hope
That's
Mental
amazing.
Health Services.
Yeah. And I think that's like something that people don't talk about a whole lot is that nonprofits are so important in our community, but it is really difficult to keep them funded consistently. So yes, grant writing is a definite good way to get money, but sometimes that grant money just stops coming in, and then there's like stagnant times, and you will have to find a way to keep yourself financially like sustainable. And so this is their form of trying to do that, is like having this coffee shop and, you know, like keeping the dream of how coffee alive, but really supporting Blue Ridge Hope's mission. So I don't think we could say it enough this morning, but definitely come by and get some coffee.
Yeah. I think I don't know about everybody, but for myself, it's very easy to get bogged down with the news and social media, and sometimes it just feels like article after article of something bad has happened, or the mental health crisis just continues to get worse, and it's very easy to feel hopeless with that, and like, what can I do to help? But just knowing that literally buying a cup of coffee for myself can actually make a difference for a nonprofit in my own community. That's like a real thing that you can do. So you might not be a counselor, you might not actually work at the nonprofit, but nonprofits rely on the community to continue to provide their services. So it gives me a little bit of solace to know that there are things that can be done, and it's as simple as buying a cup of coffee. And their special for the honey lavender is $2.50
I think so.
for a small, and like $3 something for a large. Like, that's incredible.
Hey.
I know. Like, I'm gonna spend all my money. I don't care because it's for the cause.
Yes.
This is selfless of me, actually, is what it is.
Right.
Mhm.
It's self-care for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, turn off the news. That's self-care too.
Yes.
But our
absolutely.
slogan is taste good, does good.
Yeah.
And that's our whole mission.
Mm-hmm.
And it tastes great, y'all.
It really
I
does.
mean, how can you go wrong with small town coffee roasters?
You can't.
Very
Yeah.
true.
I go to them like every other day. I walk up from the library and go grab a cup there. So sometimes I'll get one here in the mornings, and then like early afternoon go up there, and I'm just like really excited at the library for all the caffeine that I've been. I need it for story time.
Yeah,
for sure.
And yeah, story time is this morning at 10:30.
Yes,
So
yeah.
definitely stop by and see the very caffeinated Reagan.
Yeah, sorry in advance. But you need it. It's the toddlers love it. Today we're going to be reading about reading and books and stuff, and so
Reading about reading.
and you know how fun books are. So I want to be extra caffeinated so they can like tell how excited I am about books.
How do you come up with like the topics of story time?
So sometimes I will get requests from parents or even from the preschoolers. Last week we did a dinosaur story time, and it was so fun because one of my kids that comes to story time, his favorite thing is dinosaurs, and he was like, I sure do love dinos. And I said, I think I can do that. So the next week we did dinosaurs. Sometimes I'll plan in advance, but if somebody requests something, it is so easy to just push that back a week or whatever. So if you're a parent that brings your kid to story time and you have something you want to learn about or something you know your kid would like to read about, let me know, and we have books on it. We can find a craft or a dance or song or something. So
Reagan will make it happen.
I will. Yeah, Miss Reagan would do it.
And speaking of, the summer reading program is coming up pretty
Yes,
soon.
it is. It's coming up very, very soon. So the kickoff for the summer reading program is going to be at Pops in Forest City, but all of the libraries in Rutherford County will be present. So that's all 3 of the county libraries, and then Forest City, Spindale, and Rutherford municipal libraries will be there. And so you can sign up for summer reading at whichever library is closest to you. If you're feeling very ambitious, you can sign up for all of them and read 1,000 minutes, every week, I guess. But what you do is you'll sign up at your library, you'll get a reading log, and you fill out, however many levels. Each library does it kind of differently. And you get prizes for reading so many minutes or books or however the libraries do it. At ours, we've got some aquariums visiting with live animals. I'm so excited because this year's theme is Oceans of Possibility. So all summer it's just going to be like mermaids, pirates, ocean animals. I am so excited. So kickoff is June 13th.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. You guys, oh my gosh, the stingray came. I don't know what all is coming, but like some will be live animals. They're going to bring really cool fossils and art and stuff. So I'm so excited. And that's actually coming from Team Echo Aquarium in Hendersonville. It's like a local aquarium, so I'm super excited.
Very cool.
Yeah. Our first event is a virtual visit with a sea turtle from the Roanoke Aquarium. I'm so excited. A sea turtle. Yeah, she's gonna Zoom with us. I can't wait.
Okay, I have to say that, like, COVID brought a lot of bad stuff,
It did.
but COVID also brought
Yeah.
Zooms with
Absolutely.
sea turtles.
Yeah.
Like, we got to be thankful for that.
So we're connecting with somebody on the coast to kind of do an educational program where they're gonna like have the sea turtle there, and like she'll get to, I'm so
Be a sea
excited.
turtle.
Yeah, she's
Be a sea turtle.
Be a sea turtle, and we've got like a magician coming that's gonna do ocean themed magic. I don't know, but
That's
I'm excited.
awesome.
And it'll go on from the 13th of June, which is the kickoff, to August 5th, which is our wrap-up party. So you have all summer, and we're hopefully going to be up in Slack, and we're going to put out the calendar at the end of this month. So you can check out everything. Some events will require registration, so please sign up as soon as you can because they fill up fast. But yeah, I'm excited.
Especially with like sea turtles
Oh, yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And then a couple other comments. I think it's been a crowd favorite that Reagan, you're going to join as a host for Brewtiful Mornings from now on. So
It's fun. I love it.
yeah, well, maybe we can just like kick Doug out and we can take it over.
I mean, you said it, not me. What was it, Dougie Smalls?
Dougie Smalls.
Or do we have
Dougie
to?
Fresh.
Dougie Fresh.
I think Dougie, well, can you classify Doug as Dougie Smalls?
He's my boss. I'm not sure if I can, but I think the fundraiser can.
Right. What does the fundraiser call Doug?
Dougie Small.
Dougie Smalls. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fundraiser. You have to understand the fundraiser is of the 90s. So he's remember Biggie Small as a rapper.
Okay, so it is a Biggie Smalls reference. So Dougie Smalls.
I love it.
Yeah, and then Pamela Martin, thank you, Pammy, for like offering to be like helping out with fundraisers in the future, doing music. I'm pretty sure she's going to be at the farmers market on Saturday. So absolutely, definitely go by the farmers market. Farmers market, we're in full swing, by the way. Every Saturday, 8 to 12. It is packed full of local farmers and vendors. So definitely stop by. I know that Beam Farms is there a lot trying to get or selling meat. And I got some of their sirloins the other day, and oh my gosh, they were wonderful. So definitely stop by. Seven Oaks. Oh gosh. Everybody's there. Just go by the farmers market. You won't regret it. And then also tomorrow, events. By the way, tomorrow is a Get Hammered Night at Night Owl Ironworks from, I think it's like 6 to 10. So definitely stop by. They always have really wonderful music. They always have really awesome demos. And even you could learn how to blacksmith a little bit. So they have people or the slots available to sign up, and you kind of have their own. We're having some hi.
The fundraiser's back.
Reagan.
No, Berkeley.
Berkeley. Oh. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So Blue Ridge Hope has a summer intern. Her name is Berkeley. She is sitting over there, and she does not want to come on to the camera, which I don't blame her. I do not at all.
Put her on the spot with
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
If you get a comment asking for her though, she would come back.
She said no, I wouldn't.
Okay, so like in efforts to maintain everyone's mental health this morning, cough the fundraiser, we won't make her come on, but do you want to say like what she's working on, how thankful you are to have her?
Yes, so she is actually has a scholarship. She's a student at Western Carolina, and with her scholarship, they have a summer intern program. Her hope is to go into the mental health field in the future. So just learning all she can and soaking it up like a sponge. She's been here a week, and it's been amazing help. So she's learning a lot really quickly.
That's awesome. Oh. Yeah, I remember the first couple of times I was on Brewtiful Mornings that I literally hated everyone and everything. I've grown to like it. I've grown to really enjoy interacting with everybody watching. And doing this kind of thing. But yes, I was once in Brindley's shoes.
I think
So
the first time I was on it, the library water fountains exploded.
yes,
And it was like my first week of working this past year, and I was so nervous. And then I see Sarah and Cindy running around frantically,
With
like
buckets.
with buckets, water on the floor, and I was like, okay. So they really set the tone
Oh,
for
wow.
the
it's always an interesting time in the library.
There's no telling what it's going to be. People think libraries are quiet and boring, and I guess some might be. And I really hope it's not me that brought on the chaos at the library, because it's been like that since I got there. We had chickens in the library, and that was my fault. We had all sorts of stuff happening. Story times can get pretty crazy. Okay. Apparently you have something to share.
You have organizational statistics.
Oh, yes. When I went to make the coffee, the fundraiser stopped me from making coffee for a customer. I was like, you have to talk about this. So Blue Ridge Hope specifically, we mentioned before some national statistics on mental health. And I think it's just really important to emphasize that this isn't just like some big statistic flying around over top of us. It doesn't really affect us. Like, it happens here. So from an organizational standpoint, in April of 2022, so last month, we grew our capacity to care, sessions offered by 400% compared to all of 2021. So we have exponential growth. It's been crazy, but it's been really good. We're fulfilling our mission through that. And I just wanted to emphasize that we take all forms of income like Medicare, Medicaid. We
Not
use
Medicare
sliding
yet.
scale. Not Medicare yet.
Medicaid.
Sliding scale, regular
You're
insurance.
getting there though.
No
We're getting there.
insurance at all. And I think the fundraiser wanted me to emphasize that we now have equine services. It's currently a wait list, but we do have equine services added to
What?
it.
Can you please elaborate on this? Is that therapy with horses?
Yes. So it's like counseling, but a horse is there.
Oh
And
my
you can
God.
pet the horse or you can ride the horse. I'm not completely sure, but the horse is present.
Can I be added to the wait list? Oh man, I'm excited.
Well, and it's incredible. First, you said 400% that you all have grown in your capacity to provide care, but it's also the ways that you provide care. So it's not the stereotypical, I'm going to sit on the bench and tell every dark truth about myself to another individual. It's doing the equine care. And then I know Cragen has been looking at one of the new therapists. She also, it's called the Garage Gym, right, in Spindale. And so I know that she's working towards getting her yoga certification, and she's wanting to do some more physical fitness and therapy. So I'm doing some of those classes, and I'll go ahead and be honest, I see Cragen for therapy and she is incredible. And then I am so excited about having that opportunity to work out a little bit too, and kind of because I have a lot of frustrations to get out, and I can't wait to just dude, I don't know, I have a punching bag in my basement, and I'll go home and pretend I can fight because I'm small, but it's okay.
I believe that you could. I feel like you're
Right?
scrappy.
Small but mighty.
Yes.
But also have the time to wind down and do yoga and bring all of the craziness of my world kind of back to the center. So I'm so pumped for y'all and your ability to do that.
It sounds like you guys are not only diversifying the way in which counseling and therapy is given, because there's that stigma and stereotype of you're laying down on a couch and they have a notebook and all they say is, well, how does that make you feel? And if that works for you, that's wonderful, but that doesn't work for everybody. So to me, it sounds like you guys are trying to offer so many different ways for people to reach mental health, and showing them that it doesn't have to be in a way that doesn't suit you. If it's working out or if it's hanging out with horses, that is mental health. I think that's amazing.
Well, and another thing that I will say is we often use the analogy that therapists are like jeans. They don't all fit the same. And so if you've tried therapy before and it just didn't work for you, that doesn't mean it's not for you. You may just need to explore other options.
Yep.
And even our counselors will tell you that coming in, like, we may meet a few times and you just don't feel a connection. So you have to let somebody know. We just don't want you to just stop coming because you're not making that connection where we may have someone else that will fit better for you.
Yeah, I really like that openness. I'm thankful that you were honest and said that you were going to therapy, because I actually just made my first appointment. I'm so excited. And so to know that there's not an expectation of you go the first time, it's going to be perfect from that first appointment on. I'm thankful to have you guys as a resource to know that it's going to take work from me and understanding from my therapist. So I'm really looking forward to going and just starting the process. So be very candid with that. But I am more excited about it than I am nervous, just because I'm so excited. Yeah.
And it is, oh my gosh, it is a big first step to take.
So it took me a long time, but honestly, I think partnering with Blue Ridge Hope and doing mental health stuff for my community, I was kind of feeling a bit like a hypocrite and but not in a bad way. It kind of just gave me the push I needed to take a step in bettering myself. I think my mom has always told me that her mom said that everybody, regardless of what's happened in your life, can benefit from therapy.
Absolutely.
So whether it's you're going in and talking about a traumatic event that you've experienced or just your day-to-day life that causes you stress, therapy can benefit everybody. So knowing that somebody from my grandmother's generation felt that way is amazing. And so that was something that was instilled in me, is that therapy is for everybody and it can help anything. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Jill came in with some awesome comments. First, her son loved the Star Wars Day program at the library.
I had so much fun.
Yeah.
It was great.
She said that he kept saying that he was so surprised that he was getting to run around the library to shoot Nerf guns. I think that should become like a regular event.
Yeah, I was about to say the chaos at the library on Star Wars Day was unmatched. We had a lightsaber fight on the front lawn.
And let me say, it was like firefighters versus police versus Doug.
And they beat the snot out of each other. They did not hold back.
No, we did not. But it was I don't know. There was something really satisfying about hitting Doug with a lightsaber. Not hard, but just it's okay.
It was funny. Yeah, kids running around with Nerf guns. It was Stormtrooper blasting.
Yeah,
I felt like I could justify it.
Let's hope that Doug is on the airplane and did not see me just saying that.
Let's just hope he doesn't rewatch this.
Right, that too. It's fine.
The library was completely safe that day. I was not on the roof of town hall.
Not on the roof at all.
That was Ray. That was not Reagan. That was someone else.
Right.
So it's okay.
No, I actually had a couple of people ask me if I was the one on top of town hall, and I was like, I don't even have brown hair. How did you get that?
A wig.
Yeah. Right. Sure. Yes, and then Jill also said that she's been doing some yoga at Kiwanis Park on Saturday mornings. So that's really awesome. Maybe that's something that we can work towards, just getting some public, yoga classes or something around in our parks. That would be
amazing.
Phenomenal. All right, so we've been going on for about 50 minutes. So thank y'all for hanging in there. That we've had quite the morning with the appearance of the fundraiser. So yes. Oh gosh, what was that?
Taking care of business
in a flash.
That's it. Thank you.
I'm not going to be able to get that out of my head.
We're gonna have to get t-shirts made. Also, speaking of t-shirts, they're also selling Blue Ridge Hope shirts here. I think it was $15 y'all said for a t-shirt.
And we also have some on our website as well. There's a merch tab on our website.
And do the proceeds from y'all's merchandise also go back into it? Okay, so you get cool coffee, cool shirts, they have hats, all sorts of stuff, and all of that goes towards mental health. That's right. I love it.
I'm probably gonna buy a new t-shirt.
Yep. As soon as we sign off.
Yeah, literally. Kiwanis Park at 9 a.m. Bring a mat and a towel. She's taking donations. Oh, Kristen Clifton.
So,
this Saturday.
Is that tomorrow
morning? Yeah.
What's she doing tomorrow morning?
Are we going to yoga
We
tomorrow?
might be going to yoga.
Okay, so Rutherford Thai for lunch today, and then yoga tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in Kiwanis Park.
Meet us there. Do we have to bring our own mat?
She
Is a towel okay?
hello. Apple Watch.
Bring a mat, but yeah, I think
Mat and a towel.
Okay.
because of my, yeah. I'm actually in the morning, so.
Like the dew.
Where you can get a yoga mat from Walmart, I'm sure.
I think I have one. I don't use it, but I might have one.
Well, you may start
I'm gonna
using
use
it.
it. I knew I needed it for a reason. That's why I bought it.
Awesome. Well, yes, Jill said do. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. But awesome. Thank y'all. God may be wet. Yep.
Fair enough.
Science. But yeah, thank y'all so much for joining us this morning. Thank you for hanging in. Definitely stop by Blue Ridge Hope the Village to get some coffee to support their nonprofit. 654
I'll get it.
654 West Main Street, Forest City. Yeah, we're definitely thankful that, obviously, the home of Blue Ridge Hope is in Rutherfordton, but we're happy to kind of branch out into the community. Community is not defined by town limits, so we're really thankful for all that they're doing to help our community overall. So thank y'all so much for joining. And I'm about to get really close to the computer so we can play our outro. So just prepare to see my face up close.
Have a good weekend.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet.